Yeah, that's so good. And it just for your listeners' benefit, if they're picking up on a weepiness from the both of us, you know, my hubby and I have been pressing in like never before. And my husband had an encounter with God this morning. He's a man of few words. He's just a steady, stable, quiet, strong man of God. And God woke him up at 4 and he was worshiping, and the Lord met him and ministered to this deep, deep place in his heart. And I came out at 6, and he usually, I see him, with his head back, but he had his hand on his heart and he was crying. And he doesn't cry. I mean, he cries a little bit. He's very tender, but it took him 30 minutes to share, just because he just kept trembling and had to pause. And it took him 30 minutes to share what the Lord had impressed upon his heart. And we just sat there and wept and cried and had worship music on and just worshiped. And so I asked if I could start a few minutes late because I had to put makeup on again. Here I am again. I'm so undone by the intimacy and the goodness and the fatherly care of the Lord. And I will say, one of the things that some of this needs to be held close for Kev, but the one thing that really came out of that I just want to bring to your listeners is, and I pray I can say it right, but the Lord gave him a charge: be healed, that I need my people healed because I'm coming soon. I have work for you to do, and I'm coming soon. And it thundered in his spirit. My husband is not a man given to sensationalism. He's just not. He's one of few words. And it thundered in him and then through him that left me completely undone. And the other night we spoke at an event, and I didn't even know what he's going to say. We were tag teaming. And he confessed about being a former striver. He used to be a workaholic. And that's part of our story. We talk about that. He got cancer, and God used that and allowed that to turn him around. And but in the message he was saying, in youth group, he'd always hear, be perfect and go live the perfect day. And he never heard the full circle message of, see, you can't, so that's why you need grace, or, but he just kept hearing that, go live the perfect day, be perfect today. And for a striver, that just pushed him into so much striving. And then when he went through the brokenness and faced his immortality and his weakness, and he said before striving was his strength, but the collateral damage was really significant in our marriage and our family. And the man he is after cancer is so different. And he says, dependence on God is my superpower. And I know this isn't where we plan to go, but I just got to say this. So he's saying the other night, he just surprised me because I didn't know where he was going to go with it. But he said, now as a broken, dependent man, when he reads in the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew, be perfect. He said, when people tell you to be perfect, it's an assignment and it's not from God. And he said, you can't live up to it. He said, you have to think about the person who's saying it to you. He said, when Jesus says to you, be perfect, it's not an assignment. It's a declaration. It's resting in the finished work of God and moving on to the completion of your faith. In fact, if you look up that word, it's what it means to go on to maturity, into the completion of your faith. In much the same way, when God says be healed, he's not giving you an assignment. He's giving you a declaration to live into. And I just felt like I needed to share that because that happened the other night. And then this morning, the way the Lord met him and ministered to some hurts in his heart and then charged him to charge us to be healed. In other words, it's not an assignment, but let it be a declaration that there's stuff in all of us that needs healing. So live into it because he's coming soon. And hurt people. And as my friend Melissa says, healed people heal people. And we got a broken world and we've got a broken church. And as we get healed, we can minister healing to others. So I just felt like I needed to share that.